You did $138,000 in premium. Was that issued premium?
So
Issued paid or
I did 117 in the month of June. I did another month that was 138, but the first time I did it was 117 and 115,582 got issued. So I had one app get declined. But yeah, it was a good month for the first time doing it.
Yeah, so people wanting to do that, go on a massive stretch like that. What was your headspace in that, going through that massive activity? I mean, doing the thing, like what was your biggest mindset like going into that and being able to do that challenge?
So first thing was spending money, right? So I spent about $6,300 in leads for the month. Some agents don't spend that in a year, which is mind-boggling. But that was the first thing. You gotta be prepared to take out the credit card and swipe it. The other thing was trying to leverage as many referrals and more market presentations as I could, because I knew, based on my closing ratio, based on my contact rate, based on how many appointments I set per contact, because I'm a number maniac and I want to know all my numbers all the way down the list. I knew that if I had about, I would say $6,000 to $6,500 in lead spend, I knew I could write like 80 or 90,000 off of that, just based on all my pre-existing numbers, because you're just multiplying at that point in time. And then to fill the gap, my goal was writing 150. So to get that other, 60,000 or so, I need a lot of warm market and referrals. So that was like a huge focus for the month. And over 58% of that month was warm market and referrals.
That's crazy. So when you hit warm market up, were you hitting them up or were you posting? Were they just like commenting on stuff, or was it like texting, hey, do you got this taken care of? What'd that look like?
Yeah, I was a maniac that month. Not like I'm not outside of it, but more so direct messages, DMs, text messaging. I was posting a lot. Obviously, I was tracking the entire month. One of my buddies wanted to support too. He bought like a $37 term policy. He really didn't make a dent, but I'm glad like he wanted to support and I'd help them out with insurance. But a lot of it was like, who's having a baby, who's getting married, when's their birthday, because insurance gets more expensive as you turn older, right? So it'd be like, hey man, notice you're 30 days out. Notice we never sat together for insurance before. I know you know what I do. Let me just talk to you for like 15, 20 minutes. And if you're all good, you're all good. I'll tell you that you're fine. I would send hundreds of those. Plus going through my past referral spreadsheets were good too.
Yeah. So you're a monster at the referral game. And you're one of the best sales trainers that I have seen in person. Like a lot of it's raw and hype. And I think you're very just like practical. Like this is how you do it and this is how you get it done. And obviously your results show for itself and still do. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, what's your mindset on getting referrals and what that looks like? Because you're a monster at that.
So a couple reasons why. One, in the beginning, when I went independent, I didn't really have any money for leads. I was coming out of a captive. I was at, take it or leave it, terrible contract. I was selling crap products to people. So not a lot of money coming out of that deal. And then I got in a bunch of roll-up debt early on by hiring the wrong people. So that culmination, basically, I had no money to buy primo leads, right? So I was working $1, $2, $3, 3-year-old mortgage protection age leads, flying all over the country trying to find these people. And I noticed early on that if I didn't have money for leads, I just needed more leads out of the leads I was buying. So every selling situation that I was in, I would try to get 1 or 2 referrals, whether I could help them or not. And then it was, I want to get 4 to 5 referrals per sale and 1 or 2 per non-sale, because even paying $3 for a lead, you come out of that house with 5 or 6 referrals. Now you're paying, 60 cents. And when you start developing A leads and you're spending $60, $80 on a mortgage protection lead, if you can get 4 or 5 referrals and turn it into $15 leads, your ROI is that much higher. So that was my initial mentality from it. 2, I read a book a long time ago that said that referrals will close at a 50% higher closing rate than whatever your current closing ratio is. So if you're a 30% closer, you're going to close referrals at 45%. If you're an 80% closer, you're going to have a 100% closing rate, like based on those statistics, right? On referrals. So reading that, I was like, let's just do what other successful people are doing and ask. And it worked. And so don't stop asking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one thing that I've been like really working on myself. I mean, I've talked to some guys like what that actually looks like, some guys that are monsters at it, and just asking, and it's like so awkward when you first ask. Like I wasn't used to asking, and then I started asking, and it actually worked. And then like I tried it yesterday and like wrote like, I don't know, a $2,400 app on the referral.
That's
And I
awesome.
literally called right after I took the app on his mom, and I was like, dang, it's like that easy. Because he has a family and all that. So it's like, I think I know the answer, but like, was it a skill you had to like get better at? And like, how'd you get better at it? Just doing it or what?
Yeah, it was really awkward at first. Even asking, we did it a lot at the captives because they didn't really believe in leads, or like one of them had really terrible leads, so you needed referrals. So one thing that they taught, and I still preach, is leveraging the beneficiary, right? So that's like if you're really uncomfortable asking for a straight up referral, this is like the training wheels to do it. But you're going to want to get a primary, a contingent, a tertiary beneficiary on the policy. And then you need to explain what it means to be a beneficiary to the beneficiary, because there's millions upon millions of dollars of unclaimed life insurance money every year because no one tells them that they put them as a beneficiary or who to call or whatever. So leveraging those will be the initial training wheels for you. And you can get 2 to 3 referrals out of each presentation. And then after I got comfortable doing that, I started straight up asking because I wanted real referrals that I could close real policies on. And so trial and error, falling on my face a lot. I learned by doing, which I think is important. And a lot of agents don't tend to do that.
Yeah.
They want to learn it all and then try it as opposed to falling on their face. So it did take some perfecting. And I think I have like the perfect script down.